What's going on, y'all? In this video, I want to talk about how to handle life's setbacks like a master. Okay. Now, look, man, when I'm talking about being a master, what I mean is handling things in a way where you know how to get over obstacles. You know how to pick yourself up out of that funk that you're in. Because we all are going to deal with challenges, obstacles. For example, you could have lost your job, lost a relationship. You could be struggling with alcoholism. Challenges look different for all of us, okay? But what I want to talk about is how to handle these things, how to be more resilient, how to pick yourself up off the ground, okay? And I have a story I want to share with you too. If you're new to my channel, you probably have no idea that, what I'm talking about. But if you follow my channel already, you already know that I suffered an injury about 6 weeks ago, okay? So 6 weeks ago, I fell off a skateboard messing around with my son, and I dislocated my shoulder, my right shoulder, right? So I have not been able to work out in the last 6 weeks. And I was somebody who was working out regularly. Okay. I was in the gym, pretty much 5 days a week. All right. So when I had this injury, man, it kind of came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I've never had such a severe injury. I've had some injuries when I was younger, but I haven't had such a severe injury in over like 20 years. So there's some things that this injury reminded me of. All right. And that's when I want to kind of touch on with you, because we're all going to deal with setbacks. And this injury is a setback for me, but it's really important how strong your mindset is, how strong your mental is, how you speak to yourself about things when you deal with these setbacks. Okay. Because that's really what's going to make or break you bouncing back, you picking yourself up. All right. It's really your mindset, how you talk to yourself, how you encourage yourself, your your resilience, that inner voice, right? So I haven't been able to work out. And what I realized, man, it's like simple stuff, man. Like, I'm not going to say that I was taking things for granted. I don't. But I know a lot of us tend to do this. And what I'm talking about is small things, bro. Being able to lift my arm over my head. You know what I'm saying? This is the injured one that I'm having to work on and do exercises on my own. I'm looking at YouTube. I'm educating myself. I'm a personal trainer as well too, so I'm already kind of attuned to my body, and so just trying to build myself up and get through this setback, even on my own, because it can be mentally taxing too. Not being able to go to the gym, not being able to do what I was used to doing, but also on the flip side of that, knowing that I'll be able to get back to it at some point, and it's kind of having that mindset, having that positivity lead me through these challenges. All right. And I also have some talking points that I want to share with you. All right. So being on this journey, having dislocated my shoulder, like I said, it's reminded me of some things. And the first thing that I wrote down is like, sometimes life can be like hitting pavement. Man, when I hit that pavement, man, when I dislocated my shoulder, it was one of those things, it just stopped you in your tracks, man. It's like one of those things like, damn, what is going on? Oh, I didn't expect that. I had to call the ambulance. I had to go to the emergency room, had to get the thing put back in. And now I got to deal with weeks of recovery, physical therapy. And what I want you to understand is that life is always going to throw you a curveball, and sometimes, man, it can hit hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is always going to like hit you with an uppercut, and sometimes it can be painful. Sometimes it can be very jarring. Like, whoa, where did that come from? Wasn't expecting that. And if you're not sharpening your self-awareness, if you're not building yourself up, working on things in your life, working on your hobbies, your passions, that setback can almost just be like a knockout, if that makes any sense. Okay. But these challenges that we deal with don't have to necessarily knock you out. They can knock you down, but you just have to be aware that I'm gonna bounce back from this. Okay. I'll be all right. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take resilience, and I'll be okay. But it's just being aware that, man, sometimes things can happen, man. You could just be all going through life, smiles and having a good time, and just out of nowhere, it's like a Mack truck just came and knocked you on your ass. And that's kind of what happened with this injury that I'm dealing with. Okay. But even throughout all that, even throughout the storm itself, within yourself, this too shall pass. All right. And I want you to remember that. Okay. Now, the second thing that, this injury reminded me of is, don't take things for granted. And it could be simple things like, Like I said, man, being able to raise your hand over your head, your mobility, your functionality, your strength. A lot of us don't even care about this. It's like background noise. We don't even think about it. Reaching up in your cabinet to grab your coffee cup to make your coffee. You know what I mean? Like, this is stuff that I'm reminded kind of daily, like, ooh, I got to be careful. I got to be more intentional. I got to slow down. You know what I mean? And it's not that I ever took my mobility, my functionality for granted, because like I said, I'm a trainer. I'm a guy who worked out regularly, but it's one of those things where when you sustain an injury, it reminds you, damn, you use your arm for everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing to be able to lift both of your arms over your head. It's a blessing to be able to carry 2 arms worth of groceries and not have any pain. It's a blessing to be able to move through your life day to day, moment to moment without pain. It's funny, when I got this injury, when I was initially in the sling and I was going around kind of like places that I go to regularly, like, for example, the UPS store to go mail something. And I went in there and they're like, "Hey, what happened to you, man?" And I'm like, "Yo, fell off a skateboard, dislocated my shoulder." And when you hear dislocated shoulder, it's like, damn, that's a big one. And then people would tell me like, "Oh man, I deal with what is it? Fibromyalgia. I can't even pronounce the word. Myofibro something where it's like chronic pain." And people would share with me and be like, "Man, I deal with pain all the time, man." And they're sharing their stories of what they deal with 24/7. It just puts in perspective, like, that would suck to be in chronic pain, to not be able to use your limbs how you want to, and it really just puts in perspective, man, to be appreciative of what you have, be appreciative of the capabilities when you wake up every day, man. Remind yourself, like, it's great to be able to see, it's great to be able to hear, it's great to be able to eat your food and be able to taste it. Little things like that that we overlook in life, and we focus on things that are out of our control. We make problems bigger than they need to be, when we really need to just be appreciative of what we have. Be appreciative of your ability to be able to speak, to be able to talk to somebody, express yourself, you know. And I really, this injury really reminded me and put back into perspective the importance of, like, the small things, man. Don't take things for granted, because it can be taken from you just like that. If you're getting any value out of this video, please smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you know when I make more videos just like this. Also, if you want to dive deeper into understanding yourself, developing more self-mastery, emotional mastery, so that you can handle the swings of life. You know, Life is not just knocking you on your ass to the point where you can't pick yourself up. If that's something that you want to cultivate and develop more of, then use the link in the description and book a one-on-one call with me. Okay. I struggled with this type of stuff a lot throughout my life. And I want to share with you ways on how you can overcome challenges and obstacles. You have the answers within you, and my goal is just to help you discover those. All right. So use that link in the description. Let's get back to the video. All right. Now, for this last reminder, or this last thing that, my shoulder dislocation really put back into perspective for me, is to accept and adapt. All right. So what I mean is, like I said, it could be you sustaining an injury. It could be your car breaking down. Okay. Those moments are very annoying. Those moments can be very taxing on your nervous system. They can make you anxious. They can make you worry, because there's an unknown element. You don't know how life is going to play out. The key to this, man, is to learn to accept your situation. Okay. And it's not easy to do. Okay. Acceptance is not easy. But once you can learn to do this, it'll change your life, man. Because you put yourself in a position of power. You don't let the moment have so much power over you. You still maintain your power. Okay. By power, I mean you still maintain a sense of, like, mental, emotional control. The moment is not getting the better of you. Yeah, I dislocated my shoulder, so I have to accept and say, damn, yeah, that sucks that I had such a traumatic injury and that it requires so much aftercare. Yeah, that sucks. Me saying that, me speaking like that, is acceptance. Me saying, yo, man, I'm about to be on this journey and it's about to take me on a different path. I have to be in acceptance of that. And it's okay. And the second part of that is being able to adapt. Okay, I accept that I have this injury. Now I have to adapt. Now I have to move in a way that maybe I'm not familiar with. Okay. And a lot of us, that can be uncomfortable. Okay. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos, man. You got to be comfortable with discomfort. I'm dealing with a lot of discomfort right now. You may be dealing with some discomfort in your life. It may look different than a shoulder dislocation. All right. But just know that whatever discomfort you're dealing with, just accept it. It's okay. It's gonna be all right. Yes, it sucks that you're in this right now. But just know that you might have to switch up and adapt. Be flexible. Okay. Surround yourself with positive people. Get on YouTube and start looking up information that is relevant to your situation. Okay. And maybe you can help yourself out of that challenge, that setback, that obstacle. Okay. Knowledge is power, man. The more you educate yourself on something, the more you equip yourself with power in knowing that, damn, I can get through this. If I do this and move this way, then this problem won't be so heavy on me. All right. That's what I mean. Learn to accept and adapt. Control what you can control. Okay. There's only certain things that I can do with this shoulder dislocation. All right. And the rest, I just have to learn to let it go and just do what I can do. Okay. So I hope that this video hit. I hope that it provided you with something. Okay. If it did, leave me some comments. Let me know if you felt this one. All right. Also, make sure you check out this video floating on the screen. YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this one. All right. And I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.